What's going on, guys?
Yeah! And we are back!
What's going on?
Not much, brother. Let's do this!
So, you mate?
Not much by yourself?
Oh, you know, just working hard.
Yeah, finished uni?
Pretty much. Finished classes.
Yep.
Just got a couple more things I've got to do.
What, exams?
I've got one exam and I've got a couple of assignments I've got to hand in, and that's it. And
Thank God for that, huh?
And then we got the graduation 18th of December. And then that's it. And
Beautiful.
Then I've got to figure out what I'm doing.
Figure
What
it
are
out,
you?
man. Huh? I'm sweet, but I'm chilling.
Hey, these new clothes you've got up sick.
Not
man.
bad, eh? No,
I
it's,
love it.
not bad. Deano, show us the top, bruh. Not bad at all. Decent. We'll be putting them online soon, guys, so just stay on the lookout for that. But let's get into it, brother. Who's our guest?
Well, this is a friend of yours.
He
so
actually is a friend of mine.
I'll let you introduce him.
Beautiful. All right, Deano, say everyone, this is Dean. He owns Biba Clifton Hill. So, Deano, we've got you on today just to tell us a bit about yourself and, you know, why you do what you do and how you got into it. So, welcome, mate.
Hey, everybody. First of all, thanks for having me, guys. It's been awesome so
Anytime,
far.
right? Just quickly, how's the coffee?
Coffee's good.
Beautiful.
Very
All right,
good,
that's
man.
it. That's what I wanted to know.
Definitely need that before a podcast.
That's it, mate.
Yeah, so my name's Dean. I'm a hairdresser. Been cutting hair for 15 years.
Wow.
And I've owned a salon in Clifton Hill for the last 6 years, and I'm in partnership in another salon in Chapel Street that we've had for 12 months.
Guys, that's Biba Clifton Hill. Just in case
That's
anyone
correct.
knows Biba. Make sure you go there. Sweet as.
Biba isn't like Justin Bieber.
B-I-B-A.
Definitely not, but yeah.
We're actually around before Justin Bieber.
Close enough. If that gets him in, bro, that gets him in.
That's what they all say, man.
Yeah.
And our other salon's called By Frank on Chapel Street.
Buy Frank on Chapel
There's
Street.
2 plugs, guys. Get
There
on
you go,
Instagram,
guys.
hit us up.
And then we need a plug for the shout out for the clothing when you're done, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. All right, so how'd you get into hairdressing? Like, what made you get into it?
Pretty much. I was at school. I was 15 and didn't really like school. It wasn't that I wasn't good at school. I just didn't like studying.
Yeah.
And my mum said to me, you know, I was getting in trouble at school. And my mum said, look, you know, what's going on? You don't really like school. That's fine. You don't have to go to school. But if you don't go to school, you got to work.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? And at that stage in my life, I had no real idea, man. I just wanted to hang out with the boys, really. Like,
I think I remember those days.
Yeah, you were there, and
Yeah, we just got underage all the time.
we just wanted to party, man.
Yeah,
So you
legit.
can't get paid to party. So
Oh, some people
at that time, I used to actually just cut my own hair when I had a bit more hair, and
like
my
me.
mates, and Daniel was one of them.
Yeah.
And, Mum sort of said, look, you know, you cut your mate's hair, maybe you could be a hairdresser. And I thought, yeah, maybe I don't know. Like, I never really thought about it as a career or a profession. Just something I did and sort of was good at without really knowing what I was doing. So I thought, yeah, maybe I could be a hairdresser. So I started working in a salon after school just to get a bit of experience.
I actually, you know what, now that you say that, I do remember back in the day, would have been about, I think 14, 15, and you used to sweep the hair on the floor.
Correct.
I remember that.
I
Was
still
that-
sweep the hair, mate.
Yeah, no, but that was the only thing you were doing back then before you started like
Yeah,
playing.
definitely.
What was it? Was it East Doncaster somewhere or?
Yeah.
What's the
Forest
place?
Hill.
The Forest Hill was the
Yeah.
Pines as well, or just Forest Hill?
Just Forest Hill.
Okay, I remember that though.
Yeah.
When we were back in the day, we were teenagers. He used to just go and like sweep the hair and stuff like that because that's how he had to work his way up. I still remember that.
Making coffee and tea,
Yeah.
you know, sweeping up, watching the senior stylists, seeing how they do things, just familiarising yourself in a salon and what goes on in a salon. And that's what I fell in love with when I was 15. You know, working there, I wasn't doing hair, I was just making coffee and washing pretty girls' hair. So like,
Hey.
you know, that was a really good gig when I was 15. And I thought, yeah, this is what I want to do. You know.
Yeah. And so just from then on, you just loved it, and you haven't looked back since, eh?
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, I've come too far to look back. You know,
No, you're doing really well, man.
There's nothing else for me to do. I love what I do. I'm passionate about it, and I've invested
definitely-
too much of my life into
Definitely
it.
shows.
Half of my life, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 30 soon. I've done it for 15 years, bro.
Yeah.
So
No, well, it definitely shows.
I can't turn
It's been
back.
that long, huh?
It's been
Bro,
that
I'm
long.
telling you now, when we were 15, I still remember, again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I would go to his house and I still remember seeing mannequins and like just with the hair on, like they'd have to like, you know, play with him and stuff, like cut him up and stuff. I still remember things like that of him back in the day doing stuff like that and the sweeping and all that type of stuff.
Jesus.
So to see you go from that to owning 2 places, man, it's fucking amazing. That's
Thank you, man.
amazing.
Thank
What's some of the hard things that you've had to overcome with running your own business as well?
Hands down, and I think anyone that runs a business can vouch for this, it's managing staff. I think that is
it is rough, isn't
the
it?
hardest thing.
Yeah.
For me, I found that's the hardest thing because, you know, the work side of it's easy, whether you're making someone cut hair or train someone to be the next world's best boxer. You're working with people, and they have the same problems. They do the same fucked up things, and you've got to deal with that.
What are some of the things you encounter mostly?
I would say people's personal shit coming into work.
They always bring it with
You know, and that you got to expect that. That's going to happen everywhere. But as a manager, you've got to make sure that person is coming to work and is going to deliver 100% to the job. And if there's stuff going on outside of work, that's going to impact their work. And as a manager, you've got to motivate them or inspire them to like leave that shit at the door and work out their shit with them sometimes too. So you get the best out of them for like when they're in there with you, when they're in there working, when they're supposed to be giving everything to the business, That's the hardest thing.
Do you find it hard as well because it's not their business? They won't give it 110% as much as what you think you could or you want.
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah,
and
not their
like
business.
you can't expect that, because they don't have that desperation of paying the bills.
Yeah.
They don't have that desperation of the tax office knocking on their door saying, you gotta pay, like they don't.
I know exactly what you're talking
see
about.
that, and you can't expect them to see that because they won't.
And have you had to deal with anything like that and had to get rid of these people?
Yeah. I mean, in the time I've had to fire people, like I don't want to fire anyone. No one wants to.
It's kind of hard,
It never gets easier.
Yeah.
And ideally, you don't want to fire someone. You want to actually turn them around and get the best out of them for your business.
Yeah,
because it's costly hiring someone else.
Yeah.
First you pay them out their leave or whatever they owe you. That's going to be an expense. And then there's the time of advertising to get someone else. That's an expense. And then all those clients that they were servicing, suddenly you're servicing, or you're paying someone else to service them, and you're paying them overtime. So it costs money to get someone else in new. Then you might get someone in new and
And
train them.
And time, man. You're short staffed as well, so.
And then you've got to go through like
and then you've got to
upskilling
train
and stuff
them
like
and get
that.
them back to where that person that wasn't doing a great job was doing. So ideally, you want to like turn someone around and get them working better for you, than
100%.
firing them.
So in saying that, what are some things that you do to keep your staff motivated, I guess, to keep performing at their best?
Yeah, we do constantly training.
Yep.
Training nights.
Actually, I saw that. Was it Japan you were in?
Shanghai.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
That was.
How was that?
That was great, man. That was for me. That was more of a professional development through.
But you can pass that down to everyone else.
Absolutely,
that works.
yeah. Like anything that you do within your industry, whether it's going to Shanghai for it was actually through a colour company. There was a business conference. So if it's something like that, or just going to whatever one of the schools and watching some hairdresser do whatever, that's going to make them love their job more. It's going to inspire them and motivate them. So you got to create a dream. You've got to make your staff and your people around you believe in that dream and take them with you, because you can't go alone.
No,
you won't do it.
You won't be able to. 100%. Have you found that it's pretty competitive in your industry as well?
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
It's the world we live in.
It's massive now, isn't it?
Every industry.
Yeah, that's right.
There's competition for everyone, except if you're maybe Uber. But
yeah, that's true. Do you do anything different though if you're finding that there is a bit more competition, or you just stick to your guns and
do it better?
what you know?
Do it better, bro. Do it better,
100%.
and just do it from a place of integrity.
Yeah,
and
you
a
have
place
to,
of complete, wholehearted. Just give everything you've got, and people will see that.
Because people know when you're genuine. If you're fake, that's
100%, man. People will see that, and they want to be a part of that, because 100%. Everyone wants to get something out of work. Money or progression. 100%. If they're not getting either of those things, they're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you've got to be that person. You've got to be that charismatic leader that people will think, fuck, I want to work at No Bull, because Simon and Daniel, the boys there, they're fucking cool. I want to be like them, so I've got to work with them and learn from them.
100%.
So it's about the culture, you said.
Love it.
So what's something that you would do differently in terms of trying to stand out to other people?
I like to just not follow the trend so much.
No.
In my job, it's a visual thing. People see haircuts, people see people, people see styles and fashion. And at the moment, we're seeing a lot of like barbershop fades coming.
I was about to say that is massive.
I was just saying the exact same thing. I think because I see a lot of those barbershops.
Every corner, it's every corner, man.
It's everywhere, man.
But do you think it's slowly dying down now? Because I feel like it was a phase about a year or two ago, and it's not as big as what it was.
Yeah, I think it's not as big as what it was.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely heaps more barbers out there now because of this, which is great. Because when I started, the only barbers you had was like
the old school,
your old school wogs, man. They couldn't cut hair. Or maybe
yeah.
they could, but now they're so shaky and they couldn't.
Yeah, and they've got the old school pictures from the 70s back in the day. Like that's the style I
That's
like.
it.
So here's one thing. Can you clarify the difference between a barber and a hairdresser?
Yeah, a barber just does men's men's work.
Oh, right.
Yeah, a hairdresser does men's and women's.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So predominantly, like I do mostly ladies' hair. Most
Do you
days.
find it easier?
Or
you just enjoy
I don't
it
find it easier. I find it different.
Yeah.
I think men's probably easier because it's quicker.
Pretty straightforward.
It's more basic, I suppose. There's less techniques involved with the men's haircut, and you know you're talking with a mate essentially. You become good mates with these people, so it's a quick service. It's fun. You can sort of drop your professionalism a little bit with the boys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what happened.
But I don't work in a barber shop either, so I can't crank up the music and throw around beers like we're in the barber shop with the boys. Like we're not in a barber shop.
Have you ever wanted to work in a barber shop?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, because as I said, I love doing men's work and I'm good with men's cuts, and for a hairdresser, I've got a big men's clientele. Yeah. And for those reasons, it'd be cool, and it'd be cool to work in a cool place with 4 or 5 other cool hairdressers cutting hair. It's more for the experience, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So your place at the moment, or both your places, are they just like hairdressing salons, or is it like a salon with like a cafe, or what is it?
Just hair.
Just hair.
We just do hair, man.
Okay. I know quite a few like salons have got that hairdressing with a cafe next to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I like the purpose of you can serve your customers coffee, wine. I know. Do you do stuff?
We serve tea. Yeah. We serve wine. Yeah.
But I find it
that's
it's
good for experience. Yeah. But we're not doing that to make money.
Yeah. No. So that's a good thing. But I've seen a few places like hairdressing salons with cafes, and I feel like it's a little bit weird. Like you're cutting hair and you're serving coffee.
Yeah.
It's like, are you good at any of them?
It's a bit weird. It's just I find it weird.
Are you average at both?
Yeah. It's like an IHS thing.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. That was a little bit weird. I'm not going to tell you my funny story about the barber that charged me $50 for my haircut. I'm about to. So anyways, I went to a barber shop last year, but not too far from here. I was like, I want to support local business. I'm not going to name the place. Anyway, I went there. As you know, I'm bald, obviously. But when I grow back, there's some hair, and I'm like, shave it for me, please, 0. So they went over with the clippers, but nothing was coming off. And I was like, what's going on here? And I looked at my mate in the background. He's just like, I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. And then one of the guys was like, do you want a beer? I'm like, no, I'm all good. So they finished shaving my head, nothing came off. They gave me a little line up here. And I went to the register and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just charge you for the line up because I didn't really do much to my hair. They're like, oh, that's $50, thanks.
Yeah, wow.
I'm like, they're like, yeah, for the haircut. I'm like, wow. So I really wish I took that beer. So that's probably a bad experience to have with a barber. I never want to go back there.
Exactly, you wouldn't go back.
No.
But maybe if he cut the same amount of hairs off your head, but talked to you a bit, gave you...
No, we did.
Well, maybe if you had a different experience there.
Yeah, 100%.
Spend a bit more time on you, maybe you wouldn't be
But the thing was nothing was coming off my head.
Yeah.
I just shaved it myself, so I was a little bit, whatever. But anyways, that's all good. How do you find being the owner and operator of your own business? Does it get challenging at times?
Yeah, it does get challenging. Yeah, I think it gets challenging because when you work in a salon or in a gym or whatever, when you're part of the team, you're with your colleagues, you're equal with them, you go out with them, hairdressing's a social job. We're out late, we're usually on a high street somewhere with bars around us.
We gotta go to high street.
And all the people, everyone wants to go and have a drink after, I think as the boss, you got to be part of that team, but you don't want to sort of
cross that line.
You got to remain professional because when push comes to shove, you're the one that's going to have to be coming down on these people, and if you get too close with them, I think it's hard to tell them, and then they don't receive it as well either because they think, oh, it's just Dean, he'll get drunk with me tonight and forget about it all. So that aspect of it, I think it can be a bit lonely sometimes being
for sure.
an owner that works in the business. Yeah, like I'm part of the team like anyone else, but
when you need to make decisions,
always do everything with them that they go and do as a crew.
100%. And do you have anyone that you turn to for business or mentors or anything like that?
Yeah. You have to have mentors, man. You have. I'm lucky to have 2 really good business partners over both salons.
Frank?
Yeah, Frank's one of them. Yeah. And we've got another partner, Christina, in our new salon in Chapel Street. So I'm super lucky to have guys on my level that are just as passionate as me that I can bounce ideas off.
That's awesome.
Just have the support. Yeah, and then I've also got a couple of mentors, like my original boss that I work for, Peter. He taught me everything I know, and I still talk to him all the time. And now, I was washing hair and sweeping hair for him.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Now we're talking about businesses.
That's why we have to take buses everywhere, man. Yeah, fucking always.
So I think everyone in business, you got to have a mentor, and you got to have
some
people that you can that can. It doesn't even have to be the same
Just business.
industry, like me and you, man, our industries are so different, but running a business is the same.
Same.
really.
It's still the
Across
same
board.
foundation.
Same formula.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and it requires the same amount of work. It requires the same amount of effort, and say it again. I was going to say it requires the same amount of work, the same amount of effort, and you know, like unfortunately, well, not so much for me, but I just see it. I see him and how hard he works, man. Like it's a lot of hours, and
It's a lot of hours.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
a lot of stress. I remember when he was trying to set up this place, man. He was here till like 2 a.m. sometimes.
Definitely.
And he was like, man, he goes, I've had 4 hours sleep, I'm still here trying to do things.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, I mean, like you were saying, like growing a business has the same concepts in terms of how hard you work and etc. But yeah, every industry obviously you gotta cater to what you do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that working thing is so true, you know, like people think you own a business and then that's it, you're set.
You're
You
living
just
the dream.
pop
Yeah.
in every
Yeah.
now and then, grab the cash.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, I've got a meeting.
Rock up with
Yeah, I've got to go have a coffee here.
Nah,
there,
man,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like
Rock up with the
that.
briefcase.
Yeah.
And
collect
to
the
any
money.
staff out there, if you ever see your boss just chilling, just let him chill because
Oh,
that's probably
bruh.
the only time he's gonna
And
chill.
you're probably not even chilling. Like,
And you're probably not
I'll be
chilling.
sitting there like, oh, he's just chilling. My mother,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not chilling, man. I'm definitely not chilling at all.
It's a 24/7 thing.
It
you
is
know?
rough.
And I think that's one thing about working. It's hard. I found it hard, and I think you guys can agree. Like separating work from life
Yeah.
when you own a
Yeah.
business can be hard
It is
because it's
definitely.
always on your mind.
But I was just gonna say, there's a difference between working hard and working smart.
That's very true.
Right? Like someone I used to work for back in the day, he would never choose to like upskill or like what Daniel does, like you know, support local businesses and try and network. He would never do that. But he would make his job harder for himself by doing things that just weren't necessary.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Creating more work that doesn't really.
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
done.
You know what I mean? So he was always stressed, but he was stressed because of the fact that he was creating more work than what was necessary.
And wasn't seeing any.
And
No
he was
progression.
well, he was seeing a bit of progression, but it wasn't much. Whereas if he'd done things differently, he could have been able to grow himself a lot differently and not be as stressed. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Well, talking on all the good times and bad times, has there ever been a point where it got too much for you and you felt like you wanted to give up?
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
There's been probably 2 like really hard times in my
Recently,
businesses. Not so recently. I think when we first opened the second one, that it was a hard thing because on one hand we had this new business that was awesome, and then on the other hand I had this other business that I was trying to sort of manage and run while we're doing all this other thing, and we lost some staff, and like there was a few things that just didn't fall into place, and there was no reason for it. It was just a bit of bad luck, you know. Things happen, and it was a real hard time,
It's
and
hard
I thought,
enough,
fuck, you know, I could throw this all away and work for some other cunt and go home and get the same money. So you should probably.
No, it's all, trust me, bro. Trust me. No.
You know,
Trust me.
I thought-
I think there's some fulfillment in when you're a business owner. When you're a business owner, there's some fulfillment in terms of this is what I've created, this is what I do. Sometimes it's not just about the money. Sometimes it's just about loving what you do and saying this is what I've built.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of it is that, man. I think
Because you won't see money straight away.
Nah, man. Yeah, you might not never see money.
Yeah.
That's so true. You know, like
Yeah.
there's two people who open businesses either to make money or to pay bills. You know, which one are you?
Yeah.
And you've got to make that choice and like go for it too. Give it everything you got, and that's why. Yeah, like talking with people around your community, getting involved in things like that. It doesn't necessarily mean money in the bank straight away, but it spreads the
Longevity.
word, man, and
What
it
is-
gets
what
the
is-
culture out there.
What does Gary Vee say? The long term
The micro and the macro.
no, what was it? Play the long game.
Play the long game.
Yeah.
110% for sure.
That's it. You see these people, and I know, like, especially our generation, we're very in tune on
Instant gratification.
online and instant gratification and instant success, man, without merit. Like, I don't know how many people you see on Instagram that are self-proclaimed
Entrepreneurs.
gurus, man,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
self-proclaimed ballers. You know, it's like,
Yeah, I know. I agree with you, bro.
yeah, like, you know, it doesn't happen overnight, and anyone that says it does has won the lottery or is talking shit.
But they're good at selling, and
You know,
that's how they're getting paid, mate.
That's
you
it.
saw firsthand.
Overnight
the
success
seminars
stories
and stuff.
take years of dedication
Of course
and
it does,
sacrifice.
but they don't want to
man.
show you that.
And you
They
only
don't.
see that split second when they become successful.
And that's when
so
they take
don't
all your
ever-
money.
Don't give up.
110%,
That's
no.
the bottom line. Don't ever give up.
110%. So what are some of your future plans for yourself and the salons?
I want to get this new one going even bigger and better,
Yep.
and see where it goes, man. I'd love to open a couple more.
Fucking oath.
Who knows? One day I'd even like to look at opening a school, you know, where I
The hairdressing
teach
school,
young
yeah.
people the craft, you know,
Yeah, for sure,
passing
man.
on my knowledge to the next generation. I reckon that'd be great. You know?
That's awesome.
Seeing where the industry goes and seeing talent that comes through the ranks, you know, that's pretty cool.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I like
Sounds
it.
good, yeah.
So we're about to wrap it up, but what's like your final thing? What's one thing you'd say to someone who owns a business? Just don't give up.
Don't ever give up.
Yeah.
Always be positive,
Yep.
and just back yourself. And
Play the long
go
game.
for it.
Play the long game.
Go
mate.
for it,
Yeah.
As
Prepare-
Timos and Gary Vee say.
Get ready to give it all you got, and
sure, man.
don't let anything hit you down.
Yeah.
Don't let anything stop you from
Do what you
being a
want to do.
success, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%, man. I'm
Sounds good.
inspired, bro. I'm
Good.
inspired. That was awesome. All right.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed it.
We really appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for your time.
And yeah, we look forward to you maybe even come back in the gym one day. Just even say hello, man. Have a
Absolutely,
coffee.
yeah,
You know,
sure.
see what's
I'm not
up.
gonna freestyle today. We're gonna be professional
right.
today. So,
That's all right.
but I need a photo of you and that. So we'll get a photo after, and that's
Definitely.
it.
Sounds
All right,
good.
guys. Let's wrap it up. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Peace out.
Peace.